Here are 5 historical landmarks that were destroyed or severely altered by real estate development, along with how their destruction impacted local communities. 1. Pennsylvania Station, New York City, USA, 1963, was demolished to build Madison Square Garden and office towers. The public outrage led to the birth of the historic preservation movement in the U.S., including the creation of the Landmarks Preservation Commission in New York City. 2. Hutongs, Beijing, China, 1990s to present, was a thousands of centuries-old set of alleyways and courtyard homes that were demolished for modern high-rises and Olympic Games development. Although the act of destruction boosted urban development and tourism, it also caused displacement alongside the loss of cultural heritage and community identity. 3. Walled city of Kowloon, Hong Kong, 1993, was demolished for Kowloon Walled City Park. On the one hand, it removed an overcrowded, unregulated slum and improved safety and hygiene. On the other hand, it also erased a unique cultural and architectural phenomenon. 4. Large sections of the original city walls, Seoul, South Korea, 20th century, were demolished for road and building development. The negative impact included the loss of historic structure and identity, but recent efforts have been made to restore remaining parts for tourism and heritage value. Finally, 5. The Singer Building, New York City, New York, demolished 1968. It was replaced by a modern office skyscraper to maximize rentable floor space. Its positive impacts included providing more office space, which attracted new businesses and jobs. This increased economic activity and real estate value in Lower Manhattan. Sadly, its destruction erased an iconic early skyscraper and engineering marvel, which contributed to the city's loss of historic skyline diversity. Along with public disappointment over sacrificing heritage for profit. In the 20th century, with all of our social problems around the preservation of historical landmarks versus affordable housing versus gentrification, where do you stand on this issue? Please leave your comments below.
Before Columbus crossed the Atlantic, the Indian Ocean was already a bustling superhighway of global trade. Let's explore how trade across the Indian Ocean shaped global civilizations, from ancient times to the modern era, involving merchants, empires, and explorers. The early Indian Ocean trade routes, before 1492, involved ancient civilizations who already made profits and shared cultural values as they participated in bustling trade exchanges with cross-cultural experiences long before the arrival of Europeans. These groups included the Harappans of the Indus Valley, who traded with Mesopotamia around 2500 BCE. According to Africa, me.factsanddetails.com, Dilmun is one of the world's oldest known trading centers. It was a major port on sea routes between Mesopotamia and India. Sumerian, Babylonian, and Assyrian inscriptions all refer to it. In East Africa, along the Swahili coast, they traded ivory, gold, and slaves, while in South India, in the Tamil kingdoms, exporters traded spices, pearls, and textiles. China traded porcelain and silk via Southeast Asia, while Arab traders developed dhows, which were and still are common on both the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean. Sailors predicted the best times to sail based on the monsoon winds. The golden age of Islamic trade from 7th to 15th century CE marked a period of immense commercial, cultural, and scientific growth across the Islamic world. Muslim merchants and sailors established vast trade networks connecting the Middle East, North Africa, Europe, Central Asia, India, and the Indian Ocean. Key cities like Baghdad, Cairo, and Damascus became vibrant trade hubs. Goods such as silk, spices, gold, and textiles were exchanged, along with ideas, technologies, and beliefs. Innovations in navigation, banking, and record-keeping advanced global commerce. This flourishing trade era helped shape early globalization and laid the foundation for modern economic and cultural exchanges. In 1498, Vasco da Gama's arrival in Calicut, modern-day Kozhikode, India, marked a major turning point in global history. It was the first time a European had reached India by sea, bypassing overland routes controlled by Muslim and Venetian middlemen. This new maritime route allowed Portugal and soon other European powers to access the lucrative spice trade directly. Before this, spices like pepper, cinnamon, and cloves reached Europe through long, costly networks crossing Asia and the Middle East. By sailing around Africa, the Portuguese dramatically reduced costs and increased profits, fueling European economic expansion. Da Gama's voyage disrupted the centuries-old Indian Ocean trading system, which had long been dominated by Arab, Indian, African, and Southeast Asian merchants. The Portuguese introduced naval power and violence to secure trading posts and monopolize trade, reshaping the balance of power in the region. Forts and colonial outposts sprang up along key ports, and European imperialism took root. This event changed the world by beginning a new era of global maritime empires, colonization, and cross-cultural exchanges, often exploitative and violent. It ushered in Europe's rise to global dominance, reshaped economies across continents, and altered the lives of millions through shifting trade networks, forced labor, and cultural encounters that still impact the modern world. Please share your thoughts and any other relevant facts about the Indian Ocean that might be interesting to this community. Thank you for liking and sharing this video.
The December 26, 2004. Indian Ocean tsunami was one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. It was both devastating and awe-inspiring in its sheer scale. Here are 10 surprising facts about this catastrophic event. 1. The tsunami was caused by a 9.1-9.3 magnitude undersea megathrust earthquake off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. It was the third largest earthquake ever recorded and lasted between 8 to 10 minutes, an unusually long duration. 2. It displaced an estimated 30 cubic kilometers, 7 cubic miles of water, causing massive waves. 3. The waves traveled across the Indian Ocean at speeds up to 800 kilometers per hour, 500 miles per hour, comparable to the speed of a jet plane. Despite this, the waves took hours to reach distant shores, giving some areas time for evacuation. 4. The tsunami affected 14 countries across the Indian Ocean, including Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India, and even as far as Somalia and Kenya in Africa. The waves traveled over 5,000 kilometers, 300 miles. 5. Over 230,000 people lost their lives, making it one of the deadliest natural disasters in human history. Indonesia was the hardest hit with over 167,000 fatalities. 6. In some areas, the tsunami waves reached heights of up to 30 meters, 100 feet, swallowing entire villages and coastal cities. 7. The massive release of energy caused the Earth's mass to redistribute slightly, shifting the planet's axis by 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch, and shortening the day by about 6.8 microseconds. 8. Remarkably, many animals appeared to detect the impending disaster and moved to higher ground before the tsunami struck. Reports from Sri Lanka and India showed very few wildlife casualties compared to humans. 9. The disaster prompted an unprecedented international relief response. Over $14 billion was donated in aid, with countries, organizations, and individuals contributing to rebuilding efforts. 10. At the time, there was no comprehensive tsunami warning system in the Indian Ocean. The disaster prompted the establishment of the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System, IOTWS, which became operational in 2006 to help prevent future tragedies. The 2004 tsunami was a tragic reminder of nature's power, but it also served as a catalyst for significant advancements in global disaster, preparedness, and international cooperation.
A concise history and contemporary overview of South Africa. Long before European colonization, South Africa was home to diverse indigenous communities. The San and Khoikhoi peoples, known for their hunter-gatherer and pastoralist lifestyles, were among the earliest inhabitants. Around the 3rd century CE, Bantu-speaking groups migrated into the region, introducing agriculture, ironworking, and settled village life. Notably, the kingdom of Mapungubwe emerged in the 11th century near the Limpopo and Shashi rivers, which became a significant center for gold and ivory trade. This laid the groundwork for future states like Great Zimbabwe. During the colonial era and apartheid, European contact began in 1488 with Portuguese explorer Bartolomeu Dias. The Dutch established the Cape Colony in 1652, later ceded to the British in the 19th century. Colonial rule intensified racial segregation, culminating in the institutionalized system of apartheid from 1948 to 1994. Under apartheid, the white minority enforced policies that disenfranchised and oppressed the non-white majority. Resistance movements, both domestic and international, eventually led to the dismantling of apartheid, with Nelson Mandela's election in 1994. This momentous event marked the beginning of a democratic South Africa. As of mid-2025, South Africa's population is estimated at approximately 64.7 million. The demographic composition includes about 81.4% Black Africans, 9% mixed race, 7% white, and 2.5% Indian or Asian populations. The median age is 28.7 years, which reflects a relatively young population. Urbanization is significant, with about 66.6% of the population residing in urban areas. South Africa possesses a mixed economy, characterized by a combination of agriculture, manufacturing, services, and a significant mining sector. The country is rich in natural resources and is one of the world's leading producers of platinum, chromium, manganese, and gold. However, economic challenges persist. In 2025, the National Treasury projected a budget deficit of 4.70% of GDP, which was attributed to weak economic growth and revenue shortfalls. Public debt levels remain high, and unemployment continues to be a pressing issue. As of the first quarter of 2025, South Africa's official unemployment rate has risen to 32.9%, up from 31.9% in the previous quarter. This increase reflects a loss of 291,000 jobs, bringing the total number of employed individuals down to 16.8 million. The number of unemployed people increased by 237,000 to 8.2 million. Youth unemployment remains particularly concerning, with the unemployment rate for individuals aged 15-34 increasing from 44.6% to 46.1% in the first quarter of 2025. The sectors most affected by job losses include trade, construction, private households, community and social services, and mining. Conversely, employment gains were noted in the transport, finance, and utilities sectors. Post-apartheid South Africa has made strides in addressing racial inequalities, but disparities remain. Land reform is a particularly contentious issue. In January 2025, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed the Expropriation Act. This allows the state to seize property without compensation in specific cases and aims to rectify historical injustices where white South Africans, who are 7% of the population, own a disproportionate share of farmland. While intended to promote equity, the policy has sparked domestic and international debates about property rights and economic implications. South Africa maintains a complex web of international relationships. It is a member of BRICS and aligns with countries like China and Russia. It has also engaged in diplomatic initiatives with nations such as Iran. These alliances have occasionally strained relations with Western countries. In 2025, tensions with the United States escalated over issues including land reform policies and South Africa's foreign policy stances, leading to reduced US assistance and diplomatic friction. Despite these challenges, South Africa continues to be a significant player in regional trade and diplomacy. Finally, South Africa's journey from its rich pre-colonial civilizations through the trials of colonization and apartheid to its current democratic state is marked by resilience and complexity. While progress has been made in various sectors, challenges such as economic disparities, racial tensions, and international diplomatic relations continue to shape the nation's trajectory. Understanding this multifaceted history is essential to grasp the nuances of contemporary South Africa.